Good day, good people, and welcome to another Web Dev Hero tutorial. In this tutorial, we are going to talk about some general CSS styling for text. So we will see how you can style text and different titles, paragraphs, and what you can do with them. Also, I want to talk about the Google Chrome Developer Console, because this is something that you're going to be needing a lot in your future front-end development career. So let's start right away. Remember, in the first tutorial we made two files. One is tutorial HTML and one is tutorial CSS. We linked to this tutorial CSS file, as you can see here, in the HTML file, so that the styles that we create applied. Okay, we don't need that because this is from the last tutorial. We will do other stuff right now. I created a basic body here. You see, the doc type is HTML, of course, the language of the document English. We have the head section, which contains the title and also the link to our style sheet. And then in the body tag, we have different stuff. At the end, of course, we close the body and we close the HTML. Important. Tutorial HTML, right click, open in Chrome, and voila. Okay, no styling, it looks pretty basic. And let's first style something and then check it out in the development console, because this way you will see what changes. We have a title, an H1. You just saw it here. This is the H1 title. Let's style it. So we type H1, open the curly braces, not like this, like that. New line. We give it a color of red. We refresh here and we have a red title H1. Now let's analyze this. Right click on the title. This is German, but don't worry, for you it will say inspect. And here it says untersuchen, which basically means inspect. And something will pop up. It gives you a markup whole web page. You can do this in any page that you want. You can go on google.com or on youtube.com and right click on any element and inspect it. And this is what's going to be popping up. This here, of course, is pretty simple. It's not much because you saw in our HTML that we don't have much. All right. For YouTube, this might be a little bigger. Just kidding. It will be insanely bigger, but it's the same. You hover over your title, you see different things. First of all, you see that it's in blue. So this element takes up the whole space of the page. Okay. And also it has some orange stuff above and under it. If you want to know what this is, you can just check it out here in the styles. And this is a margin on the top and of the bottom. So it's a place, it's forced space on this element. This is default. Every H1 title has this margin around it. You want to find it, you go down here, and you see this is the margin. If you hover over it, it's 21.44 pixels. And here it is written. Margin block end, margin block start. So there will always be some styling automatically added to your HTML. If this is declared as an H1, automatically says, okay, this needs some space above and under it. If you want to change this, you can do this, but this is default. And also what is interesting here, let me zoom in a little, is that here the H1 has a color of red. Where does it come from? Tutorial CSS, line 1. Okay. In the Google development tools, you can always look how the styling of your page is done. Look at all the properties and you can understand why stuff is positioned in a way or why stuff is colored in a certain way. You can always see this, and here in the styles you have them listed like so. And if you hit computed, you just have this here, the title, no padding, but a margin. This is like the whole list of properties that a certain element has. If you want to see this for something else, you click on it and you have this too, like title 2 and H2 has margin also, but just approximately 20 pixels. And in styles, you see where it comes from. This is default. User agent style sheet is nothing that we changed. This is just automatically applied. So very important, use this tool, understand why stuff behaves in a certain way. And now, close it for now and put some styling on our text. First thing we did, we put a color in the text. Now this is pretty basic, and obviously there's a ton more to do. For example, you can change the font family. So why don't we do that? We check out our title 2, we select it with H2, curly braces, and give it a font family. We even have a suggestion here, so why don't we just use this and take Verdana. Semicolon, hit save, look for the file. Wait, let me make this a little bigger and refresh it. Time to inspect it, and apparently it's Verdana by default. You can switch it on and off here to see if it changes anything. So why don't we just use Arial, refresh, and there you go, it changes. So the two H2 titles just changed. Here you see it's Arial. And if you wanna see what changes in the tools here, you can just switch it off. This is what it would look without the property, turn back on within the property. And this also you can do it on YouTube if you want, but be aware that you are not actually changing the site YouTube. All right, you are just changing your local view of the site with this, but you can do it. You know what? Let's go on YouTube and inspect this here, up here. This logo, here we go. And for example, let's change the width. There you go. Go smaller, let's change the height, and it's gone. And if I close this, this is what the YouTube logo looks like, because it doesn't have a fixed width. Crazy, right? But obviously, you guessed it, I didn't change YouTube. I just changed it for my local view. Let's do some more stuff and use different selectors. So the second one has an ID of title green. Did this in the last video, so I'm not gonna make it green now. You can change the font size, for example. Okay, we will not call it title green. We will call it huge title. So test the ID of huge title. We address it here and give it a font size. We get the suggestions here. This is Emmet that does that. If you don't see that, install Emmet first. Go to my first introduction of CSS, and we go and give it 3 rem, which is 48 pixels. Your title just grew immensely. Usually you use rem because this is more mobile friendly. Don't use pixels, use rem. More of that later. We have an H3 as a class super, always with a dot, braces to transform, uppercase, semicolon, save, refresh, and your super title just switch to uppercase. Same thing works for lowercase. Capitalize, you see what it does. It always makes the first letter big. You can put text decoration and say underline. If you save that, you guessed it, the test title is gonna be underlined. And of course you can overline it, and you can make different things here to style it. You can put a line through. Why don't we just do that? We get a suggestion here. Perfect. Hit save, refresh, and now you have a line through your title if you want that. We have a paragraph here, a general lorem ipsum paragraph. Let's style this a little. To apply a font weight, to bold and save. As you can see here in the DevTools. Sorry, maybe like so. So now you have a bold paragraph. What is used very often is the text alignment. Default, it's always right, okay? Text align. Give it the property of center. Sometimes you might want to have that. Look, this is left aligned. Default. Sorry, I said right? This is left aligned by default, and now it's centrally aligned. And you can change that. Let's do it this time. Let's change it in the devtools. Text align center, click on it so it is marked. You can line height, obviously, of your web page. Default is 1, maybe 1.5 here. It's not easy to see, but we can check it out if you want to. Line height, non-given. Okay, let's check it out. Of 1.5. Save and see what happens. Okay, so it was 1 by default, which makes sense. And now it's 1.5. You see the difference here. Very well. Next thing we can do is letter spacing. You can put it this time to 2 pixels. Okay, folks, this was a basic tutorial about how to style texts and about the Chrome developer tools that are very handy and useful for you. I hope it was helpful, and if you have any questions, put them in the comment section. I see you next time. Have a good day.